Hello, I'm David Leadbetter, and welcome to my first in a series of instructional golf tapes. Well, hello, Bill.
Hi, David. How are you?
Good. Great to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Welcome.
Good shot, David.
Hello, Bill. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
You know, when you're going to change your swing and go into new ground, so to speak, you really have to put a lot of trust in the person that you're going to work with.
Nick, we have an interesting location for an instructional video.
Yeah, this is the kind of place that I'm sort of was familiar with before I came to see you, Dave.
Hello, I'm David Leadbetter, and welcome to Simple Secrets for Great Golf. Hello, I'm David Leadbetter, and it's a real pleasure for me to be with you once again. Welcome, I'm David Leadbetter, and it's a pleasure for me to bring to you From Beginner to Winner. You know, millions of
Well, amazing as it may seem, I've been making these instructional videos for 7 years. And given the 7-year itch, I think it's time to look back over the series and select the greatest tips that will help you, the golfer, whatever your handicap. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to break this tape down into 4 separate sections. Firstly, setting up to hit a great shot. Secondly, the swing itself, some thoughts and some drills to get you to make a great golf swing. Thirdly, some speciality shots. And finally, the all-important short game area. Although I'm sure all these tips are really going to help you, only use one of them at a time, all right? Now, who better to start us off on this tape than one of my more promising students, Nick Price, who will help us to get to grips with the grips.
Right, now, the thing that I see mostly with many players is the fact that they grip the club too much in the palm. Now, I've just hijacked this glove from one of these players that has a poor grip. I promise you it's not my glove. And we can see the wear up here, and that's simply because the fact the club is too much in the palm and there's a lot of motion, a lot of movement with the club during the swing.
Right.
And this is very, very common. And big problem is unless you set your left hand, and particularly your left hand on the club correctly, you're not going to be able to use your hands correctly, not going to be able to get the wrist action right, and causes a whole host of bad shots. So let's have a look at your left hand, see how you position it.
Well, one of the things that I've always tried to do, David, with my left hand is to hold the club parallel to the ground right out in front of me here. I have the thumb going down the center of the shaft, a cup in the left wrist, and I can see 1, 2 knuckles.
Right, now let's just open this left hand and have a look where it is. And you can see it's across the palm, through that first finger here, and basically it is a palm grip, but it's also in the latter stages, or the lower part of the hand, in the fingers. So it's not purely a palm grip. And this will enable you, by gripping it in this position, and we can just see here, if I can just show the difference. So instead of having it running through there, it's now running there. It'll enable me to really get my wrist action working correctly. So important in a good golf swing.
Right.
What else do you feel? Do you feel any sort of pressure in maybe your last 3 fingers?
Well, I've always tried to grip it a little tighter in my last 3 fingers, and one of the reasons I come down the grip a little bit, not at the top here, is to make sure that I have these last 3 fingers on the club.
Right. Now the right hand, certainly the left hand's the most important, but the right hand, I see problems with many golfers who tend to grip it too much in the palm, and also the right hand's too far up the club. It's too short a grip, in other words.
Right, and what happens is, even though you may have a good swing, when you come in through to impact, the club face is going to turn because your right hand wants to go back to the square position, and it's going to close the club face, you're going to hook the ball. On the other hand, you might make a compensation and come through with your shoulders a little higher and hold on this way, and the ball is now going to go to the right.
Let's have a look at your right-hand grip there and just see how you place it.
Well, as you can see, I've got it in the base of my fingers here, not too much in the palm like this, in the base of the fingers, and the lifeline here now comes over the top of the left thumb. And you can see the right thumb and forefinger, a little bit of a pinch.
Yeah, so see the right hand looks like it sits fairly long on the club, and the hands, the whole key with the hands is to let them work as a unit. Remember, they control the club face, maybe involuntarily so. In other words, you don't consciously try to control it, but wherever your hands are, they're going to control the club face. I think it's a good point to mention too, there are a lot of great players who do have maybe what we would call substandard grips, but they hit so many thousands of balls and they're so talented that they are able to sort of compensate for it. But basically, I mean, good golf begins with a good grip, no question.
Absolutely.
Let's check out the perfect posture drill. You know, posture really is the foundation of a good golf swing. And what I mean by that is getting your angles right at address. Learning to get your back straight, certainly your lower back. Getting into a position where it allows you to turn your shoulders consistently and maintain those angles through the shot consistently. We see so many players who address the ball poorly, and as a result, the club never gets back into the same position at impact on a regular basis. So understanding a little bit about geometry is really what it's all about. And that really means establishing those angles correctly at address. Now I have an excellent little drill here to actually help you to get your back in the proper position at address. Let me show you. What you do is you grab your golf club like this and put it behind your back and place it right down your spine. Hold the head with your left hand, so feel like the top of the club comes out somewhere near your head. Now you'll be able to feel in doing this that you can get your lower back nice and straight. Okay, we don't want to get it curved. We want to keep it straight as we can. The other key ingredient is to make sure that your neck is relaxed. So your chin is down slightly. We don't want the chin up. So your head is touching the club. You want to make sure that your head is down very slightly, and this gives you the proper position at address from which you can make a good turn. Getting this lower back nice and straight, keeping it, maintaining those angles through the swing will allow you to hit a lot of consistent shots. So periodically just grab a club like this, put it behind your back, set yourself in this position, maybe feel a little pressure on your thighs right here and here, and now you're in a position where if you maintain that by simply just putting the club down in front of you, you're now in the great position from which to make a good swing. So do this regularly and you'll find that this will be a big key to help you to set up to the ball correctly every time. How to get yourself aimed and position the ball properly. If you want to hit your shots consistently to the target, you have to learn to aim consistently at the target. The fact of the matter remains that most people never really learn to aim the club properly. The thing that I see a lot is that people put their feet down first, trying to aim their feet at the target, and then put the club down and hopefully they're lined up. Well, very seldom are you if you do it this way. In fact, your feet are the least important of any aspect as far as lining up is concerned. The thing you have to remember is that the only thing that's aimed at the target is the club face. You get the club face aimed at your target, you get your body parallel to it. That means your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and also your eye line. So it's like a giant railway track. One side of the track is where the club face is, the other side of the track is where your body is. It's very much like hitting a 2-foot putt. You actually aim the putter face at the hole, and your feet appear to be left of the hole. And that's the way that you want to picture this. So always aim the club face first and then your body second. Now, in order to do this consistently, what you want to try to do is pick out a target just in front of the ball, as we term it, an intermediate target, on the line to the flag in this case. So you get behind the ball, pick out your intermediate target, and I have a little divot in front of the ball about a foot or so, and then in walking round, make sure you aim the club face at that intermediate target. Now, by doing that, and then getting my feet, my knees, my hips, my shoulders, and my eyes parallel, I can then be pretty much assured
that I'm lined up at my target. So let's see how we do. So aim the club face at the intermediate target. Get your body parallel to it. And then trust your swing. So there you have it. There's the secret. Aim the club face first and your body parallel to it. If you do that, you're always going to be lined up. Final element we need to discuss, Nick, is the ball position. And I think for good players, obviously we see a tendency at times maybe to get the ball a little too far back in the stance.
Well, it's something that we always try and do, and I find that the further the ball gets back in the stance, I'm going to find the club coming from the inside too much, and I'm going to hook the ball. The optimum for me is just inside the left heel, Dave, where I'll have it nice and comfortable, just in front of my armpit here, as you can see.
I just hang that there, we can see
that.
that.
And what this encourages me to do is to chase after the ball toward the target.
Right, also it tends to help you to get shallow on and take a nice shallow divot with your irons, and obviously with your woods you want the ball forward anyway.
Right.
And you might just show us with a 3-iron and then we'll just show you with a 9-iron.
Okay, there's a 3-iron. I'll go ahead and hit this one. And then as we come in with a 9-iron, obviously I'm not going to stand as far away because the club's shorter, but I'm going to keep the same ball position just inside my left heel. My right foot has come from a wide position into here, and I'm just a little closer to the ball.
It's amazing because it really does look like it's further back. It's just an optical illusion when you move your right foot closer.
That's right, and people often think that the ball should go further back with the shorter clubs, but I've always liked to keep it there.
Okay.
So here I am, just in front of the left heel. Feel very comfortable.
That's great. Nice shallow divot. Perfect. Now let's work on making a perfect swing. Well, that looks easy enough, but is it? Golf is a very difficult game, you know, as I'm sure you've found out by now. I think the most important thing I can really help you with at this stage is understanding what this golf swing's all about. Obviously, what we're trying to do is to create maximum speed with the club head and hopefully hit the ball on line at the same time as well. That's an important factor. Now, you know, many golfers go through their golfing lives without really understanding what it takes in order to make a good swing. There's lots of moving parts in the swing, as we can all see. The arms, the shoulders, the legs, the club head, the wrists, all these parts have to synchronize together. And the difference is between other sports and golf is the fact that in golf, certainly the ball is stationary. So we have to learn to make the correct motion. Now, if I just swung these keys on the end of this piece of string, this really is what we're trying to create. Centrifugal force. Create maximum speed and really get the club swinging. If I pick up this heavy weighted bar here, the same thing must apply. We've really got to get this swinging. That's our objective, learning to get it to swing. At the same time, get our body to help that action to take place. Now let's look at some computer 3D graphics and see what the swing's really about. Very interesting when you look at the inner workings of a good golf swing. There are a lot of moving parts. We have to learn to synchronize the body motion with that of the arms and the club. You'll see as this golfer makes his swing, his hips and his shoulders do a lot of the work, yet the hands and arms and club have to swing in harmony with the movement of the torso. This is what beginners and most golfers for that matter have to learn to do, to get the right synchronization between the arms and club and that of the body. Now if we look at this from a slightly different angle, look how his spine moves. It's continually rotating. His body weight moves back to the right and it moves through to the left. If you can learn to do this with fluidity, rhythm and good tempo, you're going to create a lot of club head speed and maximize that centrifugal force, which is going to give you long shots and on-line shots. So we can see all the moving parts, the way the body moves, the way the club moves.